Howdy, howdy, listeners. This is your host, Random Nerd, on the Critical Thinking Nerd podcast. It's been another few weeks since the last episode, and even more time has passed since my last Being a Good Man episode. Lots of life items that has kept me busy, but I'm still here, and I haven't forgotten about you. I finally have some available time to record and upload a few episodes. Various global listener locations has been showing more frequently. Even more US listeners are tuning in, and that has given me motivation to continue with more episodes. This episode is something we can all do together. As this episode's title is about, surrendering to God. Bible scripture, the book of James, chapter 4, verse 7. Submit yourselves, therefore, to God, resist the devil, and he will flee from you. Life's responsibilities never stops. And in this spiritual warfare that feels unrelenting, soul-searching faith seems impossible. I tell you now, faith is absolute, and surrendering to God allows for His will to take over and guide you through His will. Surrendering to God doesn't mean to shirk your responsibilities. It simply means to let go of your worldly control and give the weight of the responsibilities to God.
Have you ever wondered what really happens when you stop trying to control everything and fully trust God? Not halfway, not only when things are going well, but completely, placing your plans, your fears, your relationships, your future into His hands. It sounds simple, but in reality it challenges everything in us that wants certainty, control, and immediate answers. Most people say they trust God, but when life gets uncertain, fear often takes over. Today, I'm going to walk you through 6 powerful things that begin to happen when you truly trust God completely. These aren't just surface-level changes. These are deep, life-altering shifts that affect your thoughts, your decisions, and your peace. By the end of this message, you'll not only understand what trust looks like, but you'll also recognize how it transforms your life from the inside out. Number 1. You experience unexplainable peace. When you trust God completely, one of the first things you notice is peace. Not the kind of peace that comes from everything going your way, but a deep, steady calm that remains even when life feels uncertain. Philippians 4:7 calls it a peace that surpasses all understanding. It doesn't always make sense, and that's exactly why it's so powerful. Situations that would have once caused anxiety no longer control your thoughts. You still see the problem, but you don't feel consumed by it. Instead of constantly worrying, overthinking, and trying to fix everything in your own strength, you begin to release those burdens through prayer. You start trusting that God is already working behind the scenes, even when you can't see immediate results. This peace doesn't come from knowing the outcome. It comes from knowing God is in control of the outcome. That shift changes how you respond to stress, pressure, and uncertainty. Once you experience this kind of peace, you realize it's something the world cannot give and cannot take away. It becomes an anchor for your soul, holding you steady no matter what comes your way. Number 2, you let go of control. Trusting God completely means releasing your grip on the need to control everything. This is one of the hardest things to do because control often feels like safety. We think that if we plan enough, think enough, or try hard enough, we can secure the outcome we want. But Proverbs 3:5 reminds us to trust in the Lord with all our heart and not lean on our own understanding. That means accepting that we won't always know how things will work out and choosing to trust God anyway. You stop forcing situations to happen. You stop chasing things that aren't meant for you. You become more patient, more aware, and more willing to wait for God's timing instead of rushing ahead of Him. Letting go of control doesn't mean doing nothing. It means doing your part while trusting God with what you cannot control. It means taking action when led and stepping back when necessary. When you finally release control, you begin to feel lighter. The pressure to figure everything out fades, and in its place comes a quiet confidence. God is handling what you cannot.
A key item to start with is prayer. From Living by Design, pray honest prayers of surrender. Don't pretend you're not struggling. Bring your if onlys into the light. Tell God what you're longing for and what you believe will finally bring peace. Then ask for His help to loosen your grip. Lord, I'm scared, but I believe you're good. Help me to rest in your care. In Touch Ministries on YouTube and Spotify shares the many sermons of late senior pastor Dr. Charles Stanley. The YouTube link in the episode description shares his sermon on living a surrendered life for truth, transparency, and fairness. If you found this episode meaningful, please continue to listen to my next episode as I dive deeper and research further to share my knowledge with you. Thank you.